So, you're a dog owner in Bothell. You already know it's an amazing place for anyone with a four-legged friend. But to really get the most out of it, you need a dog who's comfortable with everything from busy trails to quiet streets. And that's exactly why we put this guide together, to help you find that perfect trainer for you and your dog.
Here's a quick look at what we'll cover. First, we'll talk about why training is so helpful specifically for life here in Bothell. Then, we'll get into how to figure out what you actually need, what to look for in a great trainer. We'll cover the practical stuff like cost, and finally, where you can go to practice all those new skills.
All right, let's start with the why. I mean, training isn't just about teaching sit and stay, right? It's really about getting your dog ready for the real-world situations you're going to encounter every single day, right here in our community.
Just think about the Burke-Gilman Trail for a second. It's an incredible resource, but wow, it gets busy. Good training means your dog can walk nicely on a leash, totally unfazed by all the bikes, joggers, and other dogs zipping past. It makes the difference between a stressful walk and a really enjoyable one.
Or how about this, grabbing a coffee on Main Street and sitting outside? A well-trained dog can just chill out by your feet, letting you actually relax and enjoy your afternoon without having to manage a dog that's pulling or barking at everything that moves.
And you know, Bothell Landing on a sunny weekend, it can be a real scene. Training is what helps your dog stay focused on you and handle all that excitement, the crowds, the kids, other dogs, without getting totally overwhelmed.
Okay, so you're on board, but where do you even start? Well, before you start Googling trainers, the very first step is to get super clear on what you and your dog actually need help with. So take a second and really think about it. Are you bringing home a brand new puppy who needs to learn everything? Or are you dealing with a more specific headache, like your dog goes crazy when the doorbell rings or drags you down the street on walks? Knowing your goal is half the battle. And hey, you're probably not alone. These are some of the most common things people call trainers for. Maybe you see your own challenge on this list, whether it's just basic manners, that annoying leash pulling, or something more serious like separation anxiety. Naming the problem is the first step to fixing it.
Next up, you have to think about the setting. In-home training is perfect for behaviors that happen, you guessed it, at home. Think jumping on guests or barking out the front window. It's totally customized. On the other hand, group classes are fantastic for practicing focus around distractions, which is a skill every dog needs.
All right, you've got your goals, you've thought about the format. Now, how do you spot a really good, qualified professional? This is where it pays to be a little picky. So the number one thing to look for is a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. It sounds fancy, but all it means is they use rewards, like treats, praise, or a favorite toy, to encourage the behaviors you want to see more of. It works, it's kind, and it makes your dog want to work with you. Now, you don't have to become an expert on these acronyms, but seeing them is a really good sign. Certifications like a CPDT-K show that a trainer takes their education seriously. And for tougher issues like major anxiety, you might even look for a specialist with a credential like CBCC-K. And this one is a big deal. Training should build trust, not fear. If you hear a trainer talking about being the alpha or using tools like prong collars or shock collars to get results, that's a huge red flag. Modern, humane methods are just so much better and safer for everyone. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk about what you can expect to pay and what you absolutely need to ask before you sign up for anything. This chart should give you a pretty good idea of the average costs you'll see around Bothell. As you can see, a group class is usually the most budget-friendly option. Private lessons are in the middle, and then something like a board and train is obviously a much bigger financial commitment. This can help you figure out what works for your budget. Here it is, your cheat sheet. When you're talking to a trainer, have these 4 questions ready. We already covered why the first 2 are so important. That third one, about a custom plan, is huge. You want to make sure they're not just using a cookie-cutter approach. And that last one, a free consultation, is the best way to see if your personalities mesh before you commit. All right, so you've hired your trainer and you're learning some great new skills. Now comes the most important part, taking those skills out into the real world and actually practicing them. And luckily, we've got some fantastic places in and around Bothell to do just that. The dog parks at Bothell Landing and North Creek are great for working on recall in a safe, fenced area. And of course, the Burke-Gilman Trail is the perfect challenge for practicing that loose leash walking. Think of these parks as your outdoor classrooms. At the end of the day, finding a great trainer isn't just about stopping a bad habit. It's an investment in the life you share with your dog. A well-trained dog becomes a true partner,
one you can confidently take with you pretty much anywhere. I hope this helps you find the right person so you and your dog can enjoy everything Bothell has to offer together.